obviously. On up to Gaming now, doing pretty well for himself. Back in the Halo seed. He ain't playing, but he's still at least coaching them, so I might be bringing him some of that good luck, some of that green wall luck. Fair play. It didn't kind of go his way when he used to play on green wall, but we'll leave that one under the bus. Oddball then, obviously going back to Fisher a little bit. I think, as you kind of mentioned, there are no lockdown set strategies as such yet, but one thing I do see quite a lot of people saying, it's all about the rotations. When you get them down, kind of run to where they're going to be spawning off the back foot so you can force them out of them, try and rotate them around, because they're always going to chase you up to treehouse. You're sitting in treehouse, they're always going to flood from bottom mid and just try and get you over and over again. As long as you've got people up on treehouse watching both the street and the drop down moving across, generally speaking, you're going to be all right, like you said. No set point of structure, no somewhere that you're going to lock down, but an undervalued and overvalued area, so to speak.
Yeah, it's interesting you brought up rotations because, yeah, I agree with that entirely. Oddball has always been about what team can rotate best. You do have certain anomalies, something like Lockout in Halo 2, where it was very setup-based when getting that towards BR, and you basically banked on one big setup to get one huge chunk of time. But that's not going to be the case here on Fisher. You get to these teams wanting to play ball, making sure they don't give any sort of reciprocated time back to their opponents. And we are kicking it off right now with Musa, who's got the overshield and taking out Arctic and Boo Boo Doo Boo.
This is the kind of start you want. Triple kill straight off the bat should be. Locks it up, grabs the ball. OS did its job. Triple off the back foot. It does go down to the last player. So the last player alive, whoever that may be, doing a good job to at least stop them getting the ball any further on there. They'll probably float bottom middle, try and push this one out. But at the moment, we're on the POV of Rhino. We'll stick with him for a little bit and see where he sets up. You were talking about these individual positions, Dave, throughout the game. We can kind of, when he does stay alive for a little bit longer, talk about those and really get into the nitty-gritty of it. But again, it's an interesting one. It can speed up, it can slow down. There's so many different areas. Like I say, this is no one's game. This is no set strategy to how to play. You just do what you feel is right and potentially the best rotation at the right time.
Yeah, such a great rotation here, though, on Demon D, pushing this over towards back ramp and realizing now him and his teammates are trapped over here in this treehouse/landing. I like this play from Demon, trying to get that ball off and play. I did not see if he got it, but yes, he did get the play ball, but at a cost of some firepower on the map. I believe both him and his teammate were taken out, but they still got 28 points on the board, which is a bit surprising. We saw Musa just going off at the start of that game, getting a triple kill, getting the ball all the way towards one half of the map, and his team only got 6 points because of it.
TRIFECTA down, but certainly not out. Ryan taking a fight with a person Attic directly above him. We'll dip down low and go underneath bottom treehouse, but unfortunately we'll be chased and shut down, so trying to make a play off that one. Maybe he could flood from behind. It won't. It will get locked out. Go to his teammate Rain, DM straight from top treehouse, trying to stop him getting this ball, but I tell you what, that's a good response there, forcing back so his teammate can collect and bring it back.
Yep, and his teammates aren't spawning right near him, so this is a very good position, strong position for Rain. So one position that seems to have different valuation changes throughout the match is that landing position you saw Rain over there a moment ago. When the ball's spawning in top center, it's a perfect spot because you know players are going to expose themselves over in those open areas. However, if the ball is already secured and pushed over one side of the map, it's actually not that strong of a position. Players aren't going to be charging up in the very center of top middle or fighting from landing to landing unless their team already has a significant advantage against you.
Next OS, this time it goes in the hands of EXCELERATE. Let's see what Arctic can do off the back of this one. Boo Boo will just sit and chill with the ball for a little bit, try and get rank up this time and get even more of a lead because, again, the further you get away with that time, the more pressure it puts on the team to try and catch up. I mean, it's like any other Halo game, right? Or any other match, the more you're in the lead, the further it is, the better it is for... So always try and put the ball in their court, no pun intended. 9 minutes remaining on the clock. We're about to hit 70 points in the bag. And again, this is kind of what I find with this map quite a lot, David. You'll get these points where there's not necessarily constant engagement because you do have to set up that you literally, because there is these open-sided bases, so to speak, you can't just run in individual ones. However, this might have kind of planned out, okay, one player does come from the tree, no one watching him, so he's allowed to be jumped up from the opposing side. Pressure applied, they might be able to break the setup here, but again, Demon D, time's still ticking.
Yeah, still ticking and still rotating right here, so great ball movement from Demon D as he's just been moving this across the map. As teammates were dropping in numbers or dwindling down, he brings it down towards that lower left side and gets the play ball. And right after that, I would expect his teammates to get over towards one of these landings to try to watch the new ball spawn.
Just dawned on me, there's 2 national champions.
Yep, and there's Demon over at the opposite landing to try to stop that ball pickup. So But yeah, you did bring up a good point with a couple national
I just
champs.
remember we obviously got Maniac in the background. We've actually got 2 national champions and a global champion on this roster. It's a nice one. It speaks a little bit further about what the Des was saying. You know, there are Sunday players in here. There are players that can turn up, and regardless of how bad of a run in the bracket they may have done, it shouldn't deteriorate anybody, or anybody should take anyone any less. They're very, very formidable individual players.
Well, that's the thing, though, is you're bringing up these national champions, these global champions, and these top players. However, one of the scarier players on this roster here from TRIFECTA happens to be Musa. He's just this hot and cold player. I remember when I was watching one of these streams earlier, I believe I was hearing from TOX, and I think Lethal had said some sort of moment. He's like, Musa just does, like, he goes a few deaths without doing any damage, and then he just does, like, 1,000 damage in his next life. He just goes on these massive streaks.
He's just a really nice bit of positivity within the hill. He's a proper good dude. Really nice, really positive, really always happy. I mean, when you look at him, he's always screaming at LAN events like, well, I won't like a winder off him. He looks like a bit of a... He can handle himself, but he comes across a bit of a gentle giant, to be honest with you. And you say he can certainly play this game and play it absolutely fantastically. Still, killing spree does come to a boot. Attack mag in hand. Carry on with the ball time, and the gap, it's slowly closing.
Yep, and that's going to be Boo Boo
nice.
getting a trip kill in this situation. So Boo Boo and his teammates here on Accelerate should be able to acquire this ball. And it looks like Boo Boo's here on landing, but his main goal in this position is just stopping other players from getting up on this landing. So he's going to be trying to cut off players here on the shortcut side, but he's really not going to want to fight like landing or anything like that. He's going to instead, like I said, just want the area secured, because if the opposing squad can get up towards that landing, his team's going to be pinched, and there's one half of the pinch you're seeing right in front of him.
He's just been an anchor, right? He's been an anchor point there, and now he'll dip down low, help his teammates out on this side. So again, rotating back and forth, putting the ball in the best position of what is at the time. Again, there is no set best position for this ball. It's whatever you can make work, to be honest with you. Thrust left and right. Ace will be able to continue the time ticking. And I'm only 30 points away. 35 should have said. They'll be able to wrap this one up. But still, odd ball. It can be a little
rotation.
Yeah.
He really wanted it. He tested the
he's
waters.
doing well. Look at how many people are far away from him, Dave.
Yeah.
This could be a win,
he's
potentially.
also just buying a lot of time, too, because there's that scenario where he's just pushing back and forth through that front window.
No one's challenging.
And these players are uncertain if they have to now get the long flank on him, or if he's just going to hide over in that landing. So that was great ball movement there from Ace.
Not only great ball moment, but great movement from his team, to be honest. Finally, they've taken him down. All of a sudden, Arctic steps up. Unfortunately, does step out. They now only need 5 more points. So, TRIFECTA, they have to play perfect. Halo, Boo Boo fancy a little bit of this one. He's got 2 teammates directly in front of him. They might be able to help him out and clear out this base, which they need to do. He sees the grenade flying through Treehouse. 3 nades down. Fantastic work. Takes out Arctic, and now they can keep on ticking. Again, they have no faults, Dave, because literally you just run, you kill 2 or 3 of them, pick up the ball, and it's GG.
That is absolutely true. So at this point, despite how good of a rotation TRIFECTA can do, they still need slays. They can't just do any quote-unquote like perfect rotations and somehow get away without getting kills. So end of the day, they need to get some slays. So right there, I agree with Musa dropping the ball as frequently as he did to try and lay some damage on the field and put some numbers on the board. But that's going to be it as Boo Boo Doo Boo scoops up those last few seconds.
I mean, there's literally that when you're 5 points down, you can just kind of go on a bit of a suicidal mission. The fact that 3 of you running, all right, you may lose a few players, but when all you need to do is bag 5 more points by picking that ball up and holding it, generally speaking, it's one of those, okay, let's just rush, we can't lose, it's job done. So, Accelerate, they take game number 1. Looking at the kills across the board, 47 to 41, so only outslayed by 6. Not a massive deficit by any means whatsoever. 150
Look
to
at
96.
Musa's numbers, though.
What are we looking at?
Musa had most time, most kills, least deaths on his team.
It's pretty big.
That is absolutely huge. Most time by far.
Well. Yeah.
All of his other teammates had 6 seconds of time combined.
Come on, Rain, you need some ball time at least.
I mean, he did only have 1 assist, and his damage also wasn't the highest on the squad, so you got to take those always into account. But same time, too, he had the ball for a minute and a half.
It's one of those moments where you pick up the ball and in your mind, you do have to rely a lot on your teammates to stop them advancing forward, to stop them pushing you over and over again. But you also need to know when's the right time. A, play the ball, and B, actually drop it and fight your battle. It's like, okay, he's running at me 1 shot. Why are you going to jump off a map 1 shot? You're not. You're going to take that fight, you're going to kill the player, you're going to keep the ball ticking. So the communication's absolutely vital, and that's kind of where you rely sometimes a little bit more on your coach in the air, saying, okay, rather than playing this, take the fight, get the win, we'll carry on the time and ticking. Next map will be Slayer on Plaza. Dave, do you have any initial thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, TRIFECTA doesn't want to dig themselves into too deep of a hole, so they're going to want to acquire that initial OS and try to go for that sniper rifle. So I'm interested to see who wins this starting break fight.
Straight out with Cafe. Down to the scope, that's pretty dirty. First strike medal comes through. Initial battles goes down. The OS will go in the hands of TRIFECTA. Musa, the big man himself. Easy cleanup down low. Double kill comes through. Triple's going to step up to the plate. Whacks him. GG. They're all dead.
So Musa, yeah, when he's on fire, he's on fire. I mean, that's 2 games in a row he started off with a triple kill. However, that doesn't seem to reflect into the results because we did see last game TRIFECTA ended up faltering. And even once again right here, they only have a 2-kill lead, but they do have snipers, so they need to make something of this.
It's very fragile. You know what? We're very early game. I want to hear the communication. I want to hear where they're going to be setting up. Brian's got sniper rifle. It's down and in with a communication with TRIFECTA.
I'm looking.
I'm backing up.
Hold yard 10 if you can.
Yard weak on me.
What did you mid?
Shot yard twice.
One shot yard.
One shot yard.
One shot, nice. One dead.
That's one, guys. I'm pushing. I'm sniping. In behind his glass.
Glass.
No, they're behind his glass.
I'm dead.
Sonny's dead. They don't know.
I didn't get a beat down. Soda stairs.
Bottom hotel one.
You go soda to awning. The top mid, I think.
Weak clear.
Dude, Budo right now.
Nice.
Budo pushing.
One yard.
Oh!
Is it Budo go behind you guys?
I'm coming.
I got 3.
Oh my god!
Tim? This guy's on me blue.
And Boo guys.
Stay alive. I shot him twice, Tim. Dead.
Let's go.
Look snipe.
This one snipe there. One guy got to hotel.
I'm nading out.
Do you guys?
One shot bottom snipe left. One shot bottom snipe
Two
left.
shots.
Guys, soda, guys, soda.
You turn still. One shot boo boo. I hit him
You
again.
bottom mid, go push around. I'll push him.
One shot didn't die.
Yeah, take one shot.
One shot, Tim.
Got him. Shoot it.
I'm fine.
Hotel, one shot.
Hotel missing.
Hotel, one shot. Ace.
You guys nice arm. I cannot kill that guy.
Alright, don't force that. Nobody force that.
And then that's hotel again.
Hotel right now. He's backing up.
Top sniper right now.
Guys, OS at 51. OS is at 51. Guys, set up for OS. 51 OS.
Is there a guy
Yard
right now?
In the yard of flowers right now.
Okay.
Where are you?
Flowers.
What's up, guys? Look at you.
There's 2 in loop, 1 in red. 1 in
Yard. I shot him twice.
There's gonna be a thing.
OS right now, OS 51.
One that didn't die. Yo, 2 blue. Nice, Ryan.
Shit, Ryan. Top
No, that's right now.
Right now.
We need this one. Nice, let me go drive by. Top yellow.
Top nest dead.
Nice, I'm one shot.
2 dead right now. 2 dead
Top
right
yellow,
now.
2 shots in.
Guys, get map control.
Yeah.
Get map control. Spawn them in loops.
Make sure they're not awning or something. Me and Tim have... I'm gonna go blue.
Yeah, go blue.
No loop.
No. You stay sniper.
No, stay sniper.
Okay.
Moose, watch your bench
I'm
push.
here, right?
Okay.
You're watching the flowers?
Yep.
One guy's loop.
One could be out awning, right?
They can be out bottom mid kind of. Yeah.
Watch out, Luke, guys.
Yeah.
Don't force that.
Yep.
We have nades for awning.
Nobody's in
Glass.
position.
I'm watching. Yeah, just hold that round.
Sniping 10 guys.
Yeah. I'm watching. I'll watch your
They're
benches.
probably gonna make a push for it.
Yeah. Just keep watching it.
No,
One's
one
glass.
pushing.
Yeah, two pushes. I got 2 shots.
I got nades.
DVD.
Check green
Watch
stairs.
your top mid.
One dead.
Glass weak, ace.
So-
U-turn.
He's on bottom mid, he's on market. I think he's on market.
Moose, stay up there. Moose, stay up there.
Yeah.
Watch market, guys.
Looking market.
Do we need that?
I have snipe.
He's still there. I think
Reset,
he's still
guys.
there.
Reset,
Yo, he's
right
behind me.
now.
Hotel, Brian.
Got 2 shots.
Sniping hotel.
I'm looking hotel.
He's dip. Sorry, he's dip.
Okay.
Blue chuck.
Garbage.
Sitting blue chuck.
Okay.
He's going
Yeah,
in.
dip still.
Sniper.
Got him.
Do one nest. Another guy on nest. Push on your right.
Top yellow.
One shot nest.
I'm trying.
Top yellow's pushing top mid. He's top mid.
Benches, one shot. Already.
Got him. Got one.
Nice.
2 dead.
Nice, two dead.
Glass.
So some decent communication there, Dave. You heard in the back line, spawn them loop, Musa, watch your bench. And I tell you what, a lot of that came from the coach. It's always nice to actually see a coach really getting involved in this, watching all the POVs rather than just sitting there as a man with a clipboard and a timer for OS.
Yes, it depends on the team's dynamic. If they have the trust in the coach and they've been working in that sort of fashion. Other times it can clutter. Sometimes coaches trying to dictate too much can cloud the communication between these players who have been playing 40+ hours a week screaming together. So it's really tough to know what helps and what does not, but that one I would say was actually pretty strong communication. The other part that I take away from that listening was it felt a bit chaotic and crazy, you know what I mean? It didn't feel like they were as calm. It felt like some of the angles and finishes that they had, players were already in there. It didn't feel like a deliberate angle or a deliberate setup.
All right then, well, Arctic, he's going to flood driveway, sniper rifles to his right hand side. They look like they've taken him down, so that's going to be sniper and OS control in Accelerate's hand. It would be only fair. We've had one listening with TRIFECTA. Let's dive on in with the boys in blue over on Accelerate.
Watch top yellow.
Yeah, two there. Yo, you're driver.
No, keep on. I got you, Aaron. Aaron died with sniper.
It's a one bullet snipe.
Blue one shot, guys.
Top yellow. It's top blue.
Blue one shot.
Top go.
Hey,
we have numbers though.
Yeah, we have numbers.
It's only a one bullet snipe.
U-turn, shoot him.
In light, one's in light, one is light sniping.
Driveway.
Yeah, it's LR.
Driveway weak.
And loop. Guys, I'm top going.
Driveway back up to 10.
Light, no shield. There.
Nice.
Push loop.
Blue, right now. I'm nading it.
Top go.
I hit loop with a nade.
I'm pushing driveway.
One top goal was like you.
Absolutely. Yo, back trap.
Driving no shield.
LR combo. Weak, glass, 2 shots, dropping above you. Weak.
Nice. Aaron got
Bottom middle, one is bottom middle. Green soda.
Shot, dead, triple.
Nice shot.
Nice.
Let's get
Stay alive.
Snipe might be down, Trent. Did you snipe down?
They're gonna be lifted blue. I'm already going bottom mid, top mid. What's top tip?
I'm in
Sniper's coming up. Sniper's coming up.
Need a blue, dude.
Blue.
High window. They know I'm here. They're gonna try and kill me. Yeah, I'm coming down, Aaron. I'm coming down.
Top 2 shots in.
Aaron, I'm coming up.
Trying to get nice.
Here.
Where?
Two nests.
We all want another guy. Another guy. I'm living.
No one's blue.
Nice. Blue, eye.
Yo, don't die. Walk
Alright, I'm in glass.
Hold this, dude. Watch
Alright.
out.
I'm already shooting.
I'm in glass.
They're blue, they're split.
Yard, help me.
Go the yard.
Help me, right. Tram also, man. He spawned behind me somehow.
Top dip.
Dip on me.
And driveway.
Yo, Obi at 44.
Top go.
44.
When? 44. Oh,
Yeah.
44.
I'm right here, Jesse.
Yo, blue weak, guys.
Shot Obi. Watch out.
One of them drop out of middle. One shot.
I know I spawn.
Go on.
It's gonna be up.
No, shield. It's up your eye.
On it, watch out.
Burn it.
One was U-turn. We never killed him. I don't
Burn
think
it.
Hey, you turn. Help Jesse.
Front dip.
Nice, guys.
I'm in blue.
I'm sniping.
Alright.
Blue.
Alright.
Aaron is sniping. They're all 20 yard.
I'm gonna break snipe blue.
Alright,
I hear you.
Should take serious
I'm the.
I'll say it's over. I will.
Listen, I'm gonna go flowers for me.
I'm coming. I'm right here, flowers.
Get a kill.
He's in yard.
Get a kill in yard.
Yo, Luke.
Wait.
3 in yard, one shot.
I said stay alive.
Yo, 1 is loop, 3 were yard.
Yo, he's trying to make noise.
Luke's still Mike, I'm
Top yellow. Yo, 2 soda.
Nice.
Soda turns on top middle.
Pushing sniper.
Two top middle, dude.
Got one.
Nice.
Watch out.
Green sword, no shield.
Watch out, green stairs in LR.
Yeah.
I'm going into
Alright, stay alive. We have 5
LR,
lead.
Danny.
No.
I'm in S.
I'm flowers.
I'm in S. One's LR. And soda stairs, 2 of them.
Here,
I'm pushing yard.
Alright, one's LR weak.
Yeah, LR
Watch out,
still.
LR weak. LR.
LR still.
Loop weak.
Yard.
I'm
Yard.
walking.
Kill yard. Go and drop it, Jesse, above you.
Kill yard.
Yo, glass is Luke. Come
Driveway.
Nice shot.
I got.
Gotta say, Dave, nice transition with the sniper rifle up to take it from S3, move across the dumpster, back into Cafe, and then they can set up, and at the moment, they're just watching where they're going to be spawning. They're rotating around and kind of locking them down, and this is why the score line, from where it's pretty much even Stevens around the 30 mark, it's kind of now getting away from TRIFECTA.
Yeah, and I felt like the communication from Accelerate side was a bit more calm, a bit more organized compared to some of the clutter we heard from TRIFECTA side, and the scoreboard reflects that. I think the only time that I had a little confusion or I was a bit surprised was during that overkill time. I mean, you saw Maniac calling it out early enough. It felt like they had control of the center of the map, but they didn't have someone in position to grab it. In fact, they were able to let Musa and a second member of TRIFECTA get all the way towards top center and get the burn. So that was just either mispositioning or maybe there was a different factor in there that I did not see during that listen and that, you know, contributed to them not getting control that overshield.
Next kill wins, and as soon as that's said, it does come through 50 to 41. Accelerate, they move one more map closer to knocking TRIFECTA out of the competition. Remember, this is an elimination matchup. Winner will advance forward, loser unfortunately will be going home. So, a lot at stake now. The only way they can win this one, Dave, is if they pull the wreck and grab the reverse sweep, because yesterday that series was absolutely wild.
You just take it one game at a time. I mean, it's tough. Any sort of mistake, you could just end up losing the rest of the series. So you don't want to put yourself in the situation, but as we've seen before, it is possible, even against the best team in the world.
Hey. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, especially when you've got someone like Ace pulling 18 kills. I didn't even realize 8 deaths as well. 11 assists, a +10 bomb on Slayer. When you're on main stage in an elimination bracket match, that's a massive stat line. Who didn't have a good game? Let's have a look across the board. Shooter did 8 and 14, a little bit of a negative. So not massive negatives, you know, you're only down by 8, but still, when it's first to 50, it's all right having low deaths and such, but at the end of the day, it's all about the WCTF Coliseum will be your game number 3 and potentially final map should Accelerate decide they want to just go ham, win this one out, and clean the series 3-0.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one because I don't think we can pin any of those losses on EXCELERATE getting a better start or anything like that because, you know, we saw 2 out of 2 games so far. Musa gets a triple kill right out the gate. They don't get the control they need. They don't get the lead that they need. When you have someone that goes off the start like that, you need to roll that into a bigger lead or a bigger advantage.
So there's nothing, I'm looking across the board here from the stats from NOLA. Generally speaking, both of these teams are kind of even Steven when we look at wins and losses and so on and so forth. And again, thank you very much to Halo Data Hive.
Is that early grab? Look at that flag grab within the first 20 seconds. Looks like EXCELERATE are moving this one across the map while acquiring a few kills. So they did get 4 kills. They had this flag all the way back, and looks like another flag was pulled. So it looks like we are going into a semi-standoff / recovery scenario.
This is wild. How are they going to bring this one back in? I mean, they've got it locked down here. He doesn't have to hold it simply because he's got rockets on his back. He can just be a bodyguard to this one. Somebody will have to get a touch on it. So now it removes from the map. They don't know exactly where it is on the opposing side. Still both going to be out. 1 minute in, I mean, it's very... I don't think I've ever seen, Dave, someone pick up a flag before picking up a sniper rifle.
Yeah, both teams did it. It's kind of crazy.
Running across, snipe with a flag in your back. It's like, what the hell is going on here? But power weapons are out in play. Really quickly, we'll finish off my sentence. And thank you very much to Halo Data Hive providing all the statistics from NOLA and pretty much all the stuff that goes down in the back lines for Halo. But here comes the push. This might be the return as well. They know exactly where he is. They read that one like a book. This is good. Stop the rocket guy getting in your base.
Well, the other part about that, too, is Flag was close enough towards Cave, and so Boo thought he was going to outsmart him. He was like, oh, of course this flag's going to push over towards their back flag plat. But instead, did a little shimmy back and then tossed it back over towards his teammate spawning. So I think Boo just got his ankles kind of broken in that scenario. I mean, had he just played a little bit calmer, had he just, you know, baited the flag, it's easier said than done, but that was a straight-up simple outplay there as far as the maneuvering of the flag.
Ace overextended a little bit, but you could see where he was going with it. He wanted to try and apply some pressure onto the flag guy. Give up sniper, died. There's only 1 bullet left in the cave, so they won't be too convinced about it, but rockets have just popped. I'm hearing screaming up on main stage. You know exactly how much this means to both players. Attic, he definitely hears something in the back lines. He goes down, but still, we're in this standoff scenario. Nobody wanting to overextend too much because you cock it up, you make a little bit of a mistake, and unfortunately, he'll be giving up first initial flag. But this is windy, this is wild, but he gets caught and gets that shut down. That ain't happening, Sunshine. Timmy Tinkler sees that rockets are up, but he has to fight a one-on-one battle. Ace is there. Speaking of one-on-one, it's not at all. He's got his teammates in the back line as well. Both of them pushing up here, but again, rockets still not touched. Nobody giving up on this power weapon control whatsoever.
This flag standoff's been going on for a minute. Sometimes these are the scariest ones because at some point when you acquire a few of these kills, you get enough control in the map. It goes from a 0-0 game to a 2-0 game because the team can double cap if they get enough presence on the map.
Let's appreciate that rockets have only just been picked up. A double kill will open a doorway. Rockets are going to get inside. Helps to go back, and that's a decent play. Fair play to him. Realizes rockets gets no-scoped out of mid-air. Boo Boo says, no, 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 not today, my little friend. Rockets, he's dead, he's done, he's in the respawn screen. If he would have got away with that and got into the backlines with the rockets, it could have been dangerous. To land an airborne snapshot like that's absolutely fantastic. But very, very sneakily, the return's there. He's also locked down into cave himself. That's a damaging grenade. Again, it will force him back. Double, grab it.
Just like I said before, what's going to happen is if you get enough control on the map, you can get those slays and run a potential second flag. So Arctic moving this one all the way across top rockets. If he gets that toss all the way down on his rocket street, that is a huge, huge toss. Right now, EXCELERATE, they just need to get a few slays. If they get a few slays, they're going to theoretically win on paper because they get spawns closer on their side than TRIFECTA gets.
It's going to be a dead flag, 2 of them do. Stop any advancement. Get that one returned in the base. Rockets also come forward. Straight off the respawn then, Ryan's just lurking around, so they need to be very careful. He sees him, might not be the best. Oh my god. I'm going to say it might not be the best idea to shoot him and backwhack him, but he gets him down anyway. Once again, there is a trade-off there, so fair play to him. Boo Boo gets caught off guard from the sidelines. Pops up on Rocket Silver, so that should be an easy kill for him. And now here comes the overextension. Musa wants to get aggressive. Will take charge of Elbow. Grenades haven't hit him yet, so his position's not being given away, and he's just looking for these spawners where they're going to be. Tim's there. You can see his teammate already, but unfortunately didn't check the back spawn. That's where they're going to be. Demon D, 09 national champion, just lurking in the mist. tries to try and get a grab. It's a little bit of a desperation pull. I'll be intrigued to see if they want to actually get it out any further, Dave, or they just say this one's dead and done.
I think this one's dead at this point. They had a couple fall already. Anyone who is further up on the map at this point anyways is just going to want to hold on to those power positions or set up a new flank that can be taken advantage of later.
Pretty messy at the moment as we head down into the death box of what is bottom mid and grass. Expect to die down there, death from above. Shooter's already set up here on elbow, but he's got a teammate. Look at this, 2 of them backing off on Silver, Dave. Okay, I like that. Back off for now. He knows this is Ryan's died, so he can't really advance any further here. So he's just going to hang around and wait. The pre-grenades will go down. They'll act as information or at least a landmine to give him a heads up on the kills. These 2 players will be calling them out. We got 1 up on High Snipe. We got 1 on Maze.
I like this play, though. He did his damage on that side of the map. He set his teammates up for success over near Snipe side. I like him rotating over towards blue flag. I like him getting into a position. I thought he actually was going to rotate all the way towards blue flag and get a pull. But this is also a reasonable response. But I still think the better play in that scenario would have been laying the damage over on Snipe side. You helped your teammates. You got to trust that they're going to be able to finish off those kills. And then you go for the one-on-one fight in the flag and the pull.
Can we appreciate that Ryan Sondy's still alive, Dave? He's just wandering around, doing his thing. Shooter by name, shooter by nature. Still an ongoing battle. And yeah, he's actually still alive. Demon deep, straight into red base. Rocket goes down. It's got the tag, but not the frag. Initial grenades will fall out. See if anyone wants to try and flush him. Checking DMR point. Finds Mooser chilling in the maze, but unfortunately death from above. He does have the assists. That's going to come in from S3. Forces him back onto Silver. I think he's still got 1 rocket in the chamber. Not anymore because he's dead. Snapshot comes through, but doesn't find the kill. Hits the body, not the head. But his teammates are there. It's like a little game of basketball. Pass it along, but unfortunately it will fall short and it'll land at DMR. You'd expect, again, that to be a dead flag because it's so damn open. But who knows? Who knows? Desperation might get the pull.
And from these single POVs we've been watching, it feels like a slugfest. These teams are about even. And also the stats reflect that as well. Just a moment ago, both teams were tied at 42 kills apiece, Sims.
Even Steven, honestly, this is... I mean, you got to remember, this is literally TRIFECTA's tournament life on the line. It's as simple as that. So they have to give everything they've got right now, and they are 2 caps away from leaving London. 4:30, so plenty of time to make something happen still. My new bomb guard watching Maze. Demon D's going to try and run this one through, and it's a good job he's there because now he's flag guy. He's forcing him to 1, choose a new route, and 2, drop it so that all the team will get the information where he is.
I was just going to say it's going to play out similar to before. We're going to see a counter pull there. We didn't see enough pressure over on the snipe side of the map, so without even looking at the other 8 POVs that we have in front of us on the Prowler, we just know that there's going to be a counter pull, and we're going to have another standoff-like scenario.
I think we've got a listening ready in the background. Obviously, it's TRIFECTA Tournament Live. Let's hear how the communication's going over on the red side.
Watch out their elbow.
Shit.
Watch out their elbow. One dead.
Cave killed me. Fountain, cave and fountain.
Cave, watch out. Cave, weak.
Slip.
One at the window.
Yeah, rock to bottom mid. One shot.
Nice, one dead. Alright, it's 2v2. It's 2v2 right
Yeah, I'm looking at the window.
The one guy doing top rocket. Top rocket sitting.
And one pyramid. I'm trying to look.
Sitting in the open top rocket.
Our snipe.
Is our sniper?
I ran out of rockets.
I'm pressing on you. I'm with
You
you.
want me to snipe?
Danny's one shot.
I know it's
I got you.
Two dead.
I got one. Last guy's grass. Our maze.
I'm pushing the side. I'm on their elbow, guys. I'm on their elbow.
One shot. Yeah, it's all
our
yours.
basement.
I'm on the side,
Look at our
guys.
basement.
I'm stood our
Yeah, I'm
basement.
bucking.
He's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
Don't
Look in the
die.
window.
They know I'm coming elbow. They know I'm
Trying to
coming
look.
elbow.
Yeah,
Go back.
I'm alone
Yeah.
inside.
I'm
I'm here, Sonny. They're maze. Sonny.
Blue maze one shot. Blue maze one shot. One shot, guys.
I'm looking blue.
Their elbow.
Watch out their elbow, guys.
2 1 shots.
Super maze.
They're chasing me out of window. 2.
Is that pyramid?
Elbow. Stop.
After blue maze, guys. He's on re again.
We gonna re. One
One
shot.
shot. Tony. We got re. Blue silver.
Blue silver.
And blue guy elbow.
There's grass somewhere.
I'll shoot her elbow.
Grass right now.
Watch out, they're up on me.
Bottom elbow, one shot.
Watch out, they're flagging me.
Somebody gets sniped.
I'll try.
You one guy their elbow.
I got flag up.
Flag.
Going out the window.
I died. There's silver.
There's silver
Silver
on
on
me
me.
right now.
Okay, I'm
On me
okay.
right now. I can shoot him. I can't shoot him.
I can't fucking see.
Elbow right now. Ace.
Another
I got 3 shots.
Nice.
You go bottom mid, guys.
I got two.
Good shit.
Guys, we need to pick up the pace a little. Pick up the pace a
Push
little.
out their maze.
Yo, they're maze.
That's two,
I can help you us too.
And then blue here, guys.
One dead.
Pushing window right.
Chopped up snipe.
Go here.
One
shot, sniper. One shot, sniper.
Flag, 2 guys.
I'm okay. Watch out, Jesse.
Our fountain.
2 dead.
Our flag, Ryan. We
I
need
got
one place.
Nice.
One's our flag.
Flag still out.
Last
Get one open base, guys.
Who's he going?
He's on window.
Okay.
Window.
And our
PR.
VR.
Ryan, he left flag.
I mean, it's like, Grats one shot, Arctic, our couch one shot.
One shot.
And lifted on 20. 120.
Got the BR. Get kills that. Get kills.
Yeah. We have 2 minutes.
Top cat looking for OEs.
They're looking at me. They know I'm here.
Okay.
Boosters, one, they're silver. Boosters,
They're gonna look this silver.
Two grass.
They're silver weak.
That listen was a lot better, Sims. But at the same time, too, it feels like we're seeing common mistakes from TRIFECTA. They started to pull that flag out after they got slays, died again at maze on it, didn't have the angles, you know, from a player going from silver or grass, and you just hear the frustration in their callouts.
It was a mixed bag. I heard positivity and negativity. It was something, oh, he's been one shot, oh, he's not dead, oh, he's here, he's there. Then all of a sudden, you move, so look, we've still got 2 minutes, everything to play for, let's keep going. But that's literally all they have. They're now down to 1 minute 30. This one single flag may have solidified their deal here in the competition. Comes through and stops Rhinoob any further advancement. Arctic picking up the double kill there. And now they can just kind of play bodyguard you. They can play bounce. They can sit here on the back and just keep slaying him over and over again. If they don't want to, if they don't have to play objective, they can play Slayer.
Yeah, they just have to slay at this point, and I really like what Arctic is doing. In a scenario like this, where EXCELERATE are up by a flag cap, and there haven't been many flag caps in this game thus far, push up further across the map, do some damage. Don't hunker down in your own base. If you hunker down in your own base, you're just begging to get collapsed on and pinched in that base. And as soon as they get those kills, they can essentially get the flag and run it back uncontested. Whereas when you are pushing out further on the map, you're forcing them to engage you earlier. So if you do die, you have a chance to respawn your base and stop the flag grab. Or secondly, in a scenario like that, if they do try to pull the flag, you already have a flank all the way across the map, and they now have to allocate the resources perfectly.
They will get the grab, but unfortunately both of them will be pulled out. 30 seconds remaining on the clock.
30 seconds.
And you'll just see the elbow spawn as they're in. They'll get the return. They'll get the second one. I think that's pretty much nailing the coffin, and all she wrote here for this map and for the series and for TRIFECTA's run in the Halo Championship Series London tour here at Gfinity. It's been a good run for them. They had a great event last time around. They clutched up once again last night to make it to main stage and Championship Sunday, but unfortunately, EXCELERATE, they're just too strong. It's all job done. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up. Everybody played their hearts and souls, but it will be EXCELERATE cleaning the series 3-0.
And that's the kind of statement that they want to have, that they want to make if they're going to make a long run here in this losers bracket.
Bringing the kill feed up shortly. Fist bumps all around, no BM. That's what we always like to see. But still, even for TRIFECTA, Dave, it's still always nice to see him here on a Championship Sunday. It just kind of adds value to